Welcome, everyone, to the first Just a Position football episode. We had a lot of fun with this one. We end up ranking starting quarterbacks for this year. If you enjoyed it, we'll make more. Thank you.
All right, left is Steve, right is Randy. So let me know when we want to record our audio, and then I will fucking go ahead.
Well, look, I was gonna say if you want, we don't have to record our audio on this because
Probably
this
wouldn't
does not
translate
have
well.
to. Yeah, I mean it probably could, but it's gonna be kind of all over the place because we're ranking 32 different things. So I'm okay with this being just a TikTok and YouTube and Twitch thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm good
that's
with
cool.
that as well.
All
Okay,
right,
cool.
so
All right.
we're live. I'm ready to I'm ready for you to tell me who I'm dragging where.
Okay, all right. So I guess if Steve is on the left, then he is welcome to go first.
All
Um,
right, I can go. I'm looking at Tom Brady. I want to rank
Wait,
him low, but he's Tom fucking Brady.
are we
It,
just
which, yeah,
starting? Are we just starting from the top and then just going?
I
yes,
think so.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's the order that we're going in.
So yeah, Tom Brady's S. I want to shit on him. I want to hate him. Uh, I'm a Jets fan from New England. Um, this dude has made my life a living hell for the last 21 years since fucking Mo Lewis injured him. A Jets linebacker injured, not him, and injured Drew Bledsoe, which was the starting quarterback for New England, and ushered in the Tom Brady era in New England and the NFL. Dude is godlike, really good. Fuck Tom Brady, but he's an all-time great, probably the greatest of all time.
All
Okay,
right.
so for me, uh, he's an easy A on my end.
What?
I Yeah. So now I will. Maybe you didn't already assume this. This is a projection for how this season is going to go. This is not all
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
all I'm going to say, I don't mean to cut you off, is I've learned a long time ago not to bet against him until he's had a steady decline. I got to give him S. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So he's got to be an A tier. I'm ranking S tier as like, I don't know. I guess you'll just kind of have to see like surefire MVP favorite type of guy. And I just don't think that that's going to be him this year. He was this past season for about 12 weeks or so, which is pretty fucking good. But yeah, I will have him at A for now.
Um, so that next one is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, it had a fucking really good rookie season. Not a lot of wins, but he played lights out. I mean, the Bengals are the Bengals. So I would put him at the B tier. I think he's gonna continue to grow. I don't know if the Bengals don't fucking set him up to succeed, he may regress. And that does happen sometimes with sophomore slumps is a thing. So I would not be surprised if he has a steady decline, but I'm gonna say he's gonna do all right. I'm gonna give him B.
Well, I'm gonna put him in B2. That's exactly where I had him. That's more of a hopeful thing because I mean his rookie season was cut short due to injury. They
Yep.
did not improve the offensive line nearly enough. They did, however, go out and draft one of his best buddies from college, Jamar Chase.
Yep.
So I think that obviously the chemistry is already there. So I think he'll have a good season. I do think B tier is where he belongs.
So B tier for yours as well.
Yes, sir.
All right. Uh, so we got Dak next in Dallas. Dak is an interesting dude. He's a damn good quarterback, but some reason with the Dallas Cowboys, man, I'm ready for them to disappoint. I hate the Cowboys like most people, but
Yes.
I think Dak is a really good quarterback. I'm going to give him B as well.
So I definitely, I actually have him in A tier. He
Okay.
was leading the league in passing yards and maybe even passing touchdowns up until his injury. And I don't see any reason why he's not going to continue that. The offensive line, while it's not as good as it used to be, still very good. Offensive weapons, incredible. CD Lamb entering his second year. He was a very good rookie receiver. I don't see why he would regress. Amari Cooper is probably a top 5 guy. At worst, he's a top 10 guy. So, yeah, I think that Dak is an A guy.
I don't disagree necessarily. I don't believe that their offensive line's gotten all that much better. I mean, I think it's regressed quite a bit from it used to be the gold
Yeah,
standard.
absolutely.
I think it's bad. I don't know. I, I I hope he does well because he seems like but I also don't want the Cowboys to do well. So
Yeah, I want
I
him to
guess
throw 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and for the Cowboys to go 2-15 this year because there's 17 games.
yes. So we got Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic. So Ryan Fitzpatrick is so streaky, and I can't remember if he had a good season or a bad season last year because that's usually dictates the next one. If he had a good season, he's going to have a bad one. If he had a bad one, he's going to have a good one. So I'm going to give him C. I like him. Like he was so much fun for the Jets those couple seasons with Brandon Marshall and but yeah, he's just so streaky. I wouldn't put a lot of stock in him. I wouldn't put him as my franchise quarterback. So I think C works.
Yeah, I agree. C is where I had him too. How I'm kind of doing this is C is the bottom tier starting quarterbacks where it's probably time to start looking for a replacement. Uh, Ryan, he is so polarizing. He is the definition of hot versus cold. Like you said, he's gonna have a great year, terrible year, great year, terrible year, or great's probably a little bit of a strong word, but I do think that he is better than a number of quarterbacks that we're looking at right now. But
Yes.
yeah, he's got a lot to do if he wants to be better than a C this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's where he's going to be. The Washington football team. I don't know, man. That's another team I cannot root for. Um,
Same.
but I do like Fit. I hope he has a good season.
I love
Um,
him. Yeah, I want I would
yeah,
love for him to fucking shock the world and be an MVP candidate, but I mean, there's like a less than 1% chance of that happening.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's good. So we got Patrick Mahomes. That's an easy S. He's going to be in the MVP talks unless he's injured. Um, dude is probably the most fun quarterback to watch right now. I will always watch a Chiefs game if it's on. Dude is phenomenal. Probably the best quarterback when he's healthy.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, almost exactly what you just said. He is absolutely going to be in the MVP conversation probably for the rest of his career until or unless he uh, has some sort of freak injury.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah, easy S right there.
So next we have Deshaun Watson. I don't
That
even know
is
if he's going to.
actually Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, you're right. I just saw the Houston. I think Watson's going to start. Shit. Do I rank Tyrod or do I rank Watson? If
I
it's
think we should
Tyrod,
do Tyrod. Yeah.
if it's Tyrod, it's D.
Yep.
He seems another one who seems like a nice dude, just not a starting quarterback. That's why he's the backup.
It's really tough for me. I'm gonna put him at a C. I think that really you're not gonna be wrong, D or C. I put him at C only because I mean, look, the Chargers thought that he had what it took to start the season last year. Justin Herbert only took over because of that punctured lung. The
Yeah, that
Browns
was
thought that he was, or at least Hugh Jackson thought that he was good enough to hold off Baker Mayfield for a little while. He played well for the Bills. Uh,
agreed.
he he never had his team. He was always kind of like waiting for the next guy. I guess the Bills were a little bit his team, but he was always like the guy in waiting. So this is more of a hopeful thing, but I think that he's probably about a C talent.
I think the reason that he's always waiting for his chance is because he hasn't taken it. He's not good enough to take that. He had that
He
opportunity.
he is way too conservative, and that is his issue. If he would take a few more shots downfield or just be more aggressive in literally any other part of the game, then we probably wouldn't think of him as a D/C guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you look at his numbers whenever he was starting for Buffalo. He had like 4 interceptions that season, but that's not necessarily because he was crazy accurate. It's because he was throwing the ball like 6, 7, 8 yards down the field.
Yeah. Dink and
So,
dunk.
yeah, exactly. But at the same time, Brady and Drew Brees, they fucking won Super Bowls doing that shit. So there's a happy medium. Brady and Brees know when to go downfield. Tyrod has never done that. So I
Yeah.
think he's got the skill to be a C. So that's where I'm gonna leave him.
Okay. I get it. So we got Sam Darnold next. Former Jets first round pick, former starting quarterback for the Jets. There's a reason he's not on the Jets, and it's going to pain me. I'm going to put him D. Uh, I think he's super talented. I just don't think he's he. I think the Jets broke him. Truly, I think if he had gone to a better team, or if the Jets had a real head coach and surrounding staff, I think he would have been a hell of a talent. I don't know if I don't know if he's ever going to take that next step to be a franchise quarterback, but I think he's good enough to be. He could have been good enough to be a starter, but the Jets kind of fucked him up. And I'm not sure if the Panthers can turn it around. I don't have any faith Carolina is much better than the Jets. They're just in a smaller market, so it's not easy. But I'm gonna say D talent for him.
So I definitely think that the Panthers this season are in a tremendously better spot than the Jets were for all of Darnold's career. Now that the Jets are finally seemingly turning the corner, of course they dump him, but maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's why they're looking better. Uh, I also have him at D. I think that his ceiling is probably a C, but
Yeah.
he's shown zero reason to give him that leash right now.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I hope he has a hell of a season. I hope that that's just more egg on the face for the fucking Jets ruining it. Like, uh, Adam Gase was the worst pick. I fucking so mad at the Jets for the last few seasons. I'm optimistic this year, but that Darnold was such a blown opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Jared Goff next, who um I think he had like one or two decent seasons, but
He had a
just
very good season his sophomore season.
but he just hasn't been consistent. And I don't think he's got the football mind, if that makes sense. He's got all the talent, but he just doesn't know what he's doing. At least to me, whenever he's on the field, he looks lost. Um,
Yeah.
but I do think he's talented, and if he's got the right coach, he may be able to put up decent numbers. So I'm going to put him at C.
Yeah, I've got him at C too. I don't know. Okay, well, actually, I do know this. This is probably his worst chance to succeed since his rookie year with Jeff Fisher
Yeah.
as the Rams coach. Uh, there is so little talent around him in Detroit. Kenny Galladay, great receiver, left the team, of course, this offseason. So that was kind of like the the selling point for the Lions offense was, oh well, we got Kenny Galladay. Well, now you don't. Uh, they've got a good tight end. Damn, what is his name? Hawkinson, T.J. Hawkinson. He's great. So he needs to become Travis Kelsey or George Kittle if Jared wants to have a great season. But I do think that he's starter quality as long as he can, like you said, learn the game more because he definitely looks lost. That was kind of the big knock on him. Sean McVay is always telling him which adjustments to make, like right before the snap. I'm sure you probably already knew about that.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so he's not going to have that in Detroit, or at least he's not going to have literally Sean McVay. So we'll
Yeah.
see how that goes. I always disliked him whenever he was coming into the league, but now that he's got this kind of underdog persona about him, I'm pulling for him. So I hope that he kind of I hope that he plays as good as Matthew Stafford did last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. And the Lions are one of those teams that I always kind of root for because they've had such bad luck and just always getting their hearts broken. So I hope he does well.
Yeah.
All right, we got Aaron Rodgers. He actually reported, and I meant to mention this earlier in the show. I'm so fucking annoyed by that whole fucking
Oh my
story.
goodness, dude.
Like, of course he
Please.
was going to show up. Of course he was going to show up. It's such bullshit. But he showed up today. He's S tier. He's Hall of Fame. He's one of the best playing right now. Um, he's getting older, and I don't know if he's probably not going to have the longevity of Tom Brady because who the fuck does? But I think he's playing angry. He's gonna have an MVP season as long as he's healthy. So that's an easy pick.
I could see his season going either way because he did have an MVP season last year because he was playing angry. But if the reports are true about the new like mega contract that he's been offered, I could totally see him playing lazy and just saying fuck off and just being like on like autopilot. That
Yeah,
being
yeah.
said, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say he's definitely a prima donna.
Yes.
He's a weird dude. I would not be surprised at all if he played lazy and just fucking took the contract. But he's also got a lot of pride, so I think he's still trying to prove that he deserves that money, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I have him at S as well. I could see him being an A, mostly due to age, and he was on a decline for a little bit there, up until
Yeah.
this past season. So yeah, I got him at S. It's really really hard to not rank the reigning MVP as an S.
Yep. Oh, so we got Zach Wilson, easy S.
Ah no, for
No,
some
it's hard. He's never played a snap in the NFL. I'm just kidding. He's not S. It's hard because he's never played a snap in the NFL. He's a rookie. He's a high pick. He's on a team that's proven to fuck up quarterbacks. That being said, it's a brand new regime, new coaching staff. To be optimistic, I'm going to give him a C. I want him to be an A. I hope he fucking wins Rookie of the Year. But realistically speaking, I'm going to give him starter status and see where it goes.
our list is remarkably similar. I also have him as a C. For essentially the same reasons. I could definitely see it like just with his play style, I could see him flopping so hard, or I could see him being like a baby Mahomes. So it's literally all over the place until we actually see him play.
Yeah.
The team that he's joining is better than the team that Darnold was a part of. So
Yes.
I certainly think that helps him. I can't see him I literally just said I could see him flopping. I can't see him doing that bad, at least like from the get go. So uh, I'd say that C is about as safe as you can get with a rookie, especially one that's semi polarizing.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a safe pick. I think that the Jets are in a position to protect him. The offensive line is better than it has been, and he's got really good talent as receivers, decent running back. You know, much better position than Darnold. So we'll have to see where he ends up.
All right, let me
Uh,
interrupt really quick.
yep.
So it's been you, me, you, me, you, me, you, me. Let's let's switch it up. Let's take turns. So like you get one first, I get one first, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So okay, I'm gonna take this next one. That's Russell Wilson. Let me see where I had him. Yeah, that's an easy A for me. The only thing keeping him from being S is basically his offensive line is dog water. So he is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL since he's been in the NFL. And that's partially his fault because he does not like to stay in the pocket, but it's also not his fault because there's not really much of a pocket to stay in. So he can limit himself. Offensive line is a big question mark. They claimed to have addressed that this offseason, but they didn't do as much as Seahawks fans would have liked. But even with a shit offensive line, Russell is still going to be Russell. So I think that A is a good spot for him.
Yeah, I can see why you wanted to trade because that's exactly where I have him. He's my first
Oh,
A
goodness.
for largely the same reason. Um, I think he was an MVP candidate for most of the season last year, but that fucking team is not great,
Nope.
and he has to do so much to put them in a position to win that he's going.
Hero ball.
Yeah, he ends up exposing himself, and either he's going to get injured or he's going to get sacked and cost them the game. When really he's not costing them the game; he's just trying to do anything he can to fucking keep them alive. So
Yeah.
I like Russell Wilson. He's a fun quarterback to watch as well, but they're not. The Seahawks are regressing big time.
Demetrius, let me tell you something about Russell Wilson. So he he plays for the Seattle Seahawks, Seattle, which is in Washington. They were playing the Falcons in the playoffs in Atlanta, and you probably don't know this, but Future he was with Sierra, the musical artist, for a while, and they have a child together. Did you already know that?
Yep, I saw the memes.
Yeah. So Future, I'm sorry, Sierra is now married to Russell, and during that playoff game, Future was on the Falcons sideline, like inches away from Russell, and he was just like it was just like the funniest shit. But I figured that maybe you would think that's funny because we were talking about Future earlier.
Yeah, I fuck with it.
All right, go ahead, Steve. You got Daniel Jones.
We got Danny Dimes, the
Sheesh.
Giants. I'm not convinced he's ever going to be more than a pretty good quarterback. Like he's not going to be A tier. He's
Has
not
he
going to be
been
S
pretty
tier.
good yet?
He's been okay. He's made some
That's where he's been.
nice,
Is okay.
yeah, which is why I have him at C. You can put
Yeah.
him at C. There's a lot of hype after his first year. Like he's going to take that step. He's going to be that franchise quarterback. He's the heir apparent to Eli. I don't think he's going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And if the Giants do win the Super Bowl, it's not going to be because of his play, but he will keep them in contention by playing above average or average ball. So C is where I got him.
Yeah. So I was very close to putting him at C. I've actually got him at D. Uh, Do you know who leads the league in fumbles since he joined the league? It is him, Daniel Jones. Uh, Daniel Jones averages more than one turnover a game. I think it was like 1.1 or some shit, but that's including interceptions and fumbles lost. He is the most turnover prone player. And that is, I want to say, about the rate that Jameis was at during his or no, it literally wasn't because that was almost two. Look, the point is Daniel Jones, fucking terrible. His
Okay.
ceiling is like high C, but like he's had enough time to work on these fumble issues. A fumble is just as bad as an interception, if not worse, for a
So
quarterback. So if he's leading the league in turnovers like that, not only is he a fumble machine, but he's also not too stingy giving away interceptions either. Uh, I just like you can't have that many turnovers and then be considered a good quarterback unless you're someone like Brett Favre. So easy D for me.
okay. He reminds me of Mark Sanchez, and I obviously have a soft spot for Mark Sanchez, so that makes sense.
So, all right, sorry, my bad, my turn again. Right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, Kirk Cousins. Where did I put him? I put him in B. Uh, he from like if you don't really watch Kirk Cousins, I could see how a lot of people would rank him C. But I mean, just look at his number. He's putting up A numbers, to be honest, man. Like especially last
Yeah.
season. His numbers are there. It's just he just doesn't pass the eye test really. Uh, Justin Jefferson even kind of was talking shit about him this offseason. I don't know if you saw that. He was
Yeah.
basically saying that he would rather have Joe Burrow, which I mean,
Yes.
maybe that's because they were former college teammates, but still, kind of, don't do that. But
Yeah.
Kirk is a good quarterback. There's rumors that the Vikings may be looking to get out of that contract sooner rather than later, and maybe even let Kellen Mond take a turn. Uh,
I'd love
so
to see Kellen Mond. I'd love to see him play.
so if Kirk does leave, he would be an upgrade for probably like 15 teams. So I mean, he's definitely in the top half.
Yeah, I agree. I have him at SB as well. It's interesting because it seems like Kirk Cousins is an asshole. It seems like every
Yes.
team he ends up with, people end up, shit gets leaked. People talk shit about him openly. Um, and he's not good enough to get over that. He's good, he's above average, but he's not irreplaceable. And that's the Vikings drafted Kellen Mond, I think, in the third. And, I don't think Mond is ready to start this season, but I think he will be an upgrade over Kirk in a year or so.
Wow.
I do. I think and and maybe I'm letting my heart speak because I was so pissed off at the dance Kirk Cousins did with the Jets. There was when he was deciding between Minnesota and New York, he was clearly using New York as a chip
Leverage.
to
Yeah.
to get, and that shit pissed me off so bad. So I for that reason I want to see him lose his job. Fucking. So Josh Allen is next, and I wanted Josh Allen to flop so bad. So he was drafted the same year as Sam Darnold, and obviously
That's why. Okay.
there's a lot of talk. Who's the best quarterback? Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen. What the fuck's that other dude's name? He's out of the league already. He
Rosen?
was yeah, Josh Rosen. They
He's
were
still in the
all
league?
well. He's not a starter, is what I mean.
Correct.
You're right. My bad. Um, and I did not like Josh Allen because he looked like dude's got a cannon, but his accuracy was like 55. It wasn't outstanding at a smaller school. But the way Buffalo has coached him up and put a team around him, he's been fucking really good. I'm gonna give him an A. I think he's on the cusp of being an MVP, and that's painful because obviously Buffalo's in the same division as my team, and he's probably gonna beat them twice this year. But I hope not. But he's a damn good talent.
Yeah. So Buffalo is probably going to the Super Bowl, is how I kind of see it. Josh Allen is an S. Uh, he
Wow.
was he was already uh, in the discussion for MVP this year. If he even just stays on the course that he was at during last season, he does not even have to progress. Like if he just stays doing what he did last year, he's got another great shot at some MVP votes. Stephon Diggs, such a huge bonus for that team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and uh, Dabble stayed, didn't he? Their
Yeah.
offensive
Yeah.
coordinator? Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, like, whenever you've got so much special talent and the coordinators stay, that doesn't happen a lot. You know that. Like, coordinators
Yeah.
leave every other year. Like, he's poised for a tremendous season one way or the other, and I think that he's going to progress. He has progressed more than anybody that I've ever seen. Like, as far as, like, a year-by-year thing, it's not been a steady thing. It's like he went from like a bottom 3 quarterback his rookie year to about a
Yep.
16th ranked quarterback his second year, and then like a top 3 or 4 guy in his third year. So I mean, like it's tremendous what either they've done for him or what he's done for himself. Um, so yeah, he's absolutely S tier for me.
Yeah, it's what you dream as a fan. That's the course you want to see your quarterback to take when they draft him. You want to see him have the same progression that Josh Allen has, and it never happens. It's so
No.
rare. So I think he's going to be a franchise quarterback for a long time. The Buffalo Bills will be in the playoffs every year. It's going to be a hard couple of decades for me as a
Change
Bears.
that entire culture.
Yeah. Yep. I think you're next.
Okay. All right. So Justin Herbert, uh, I have him B. That's a slight projection. His numbers last year don't scream incredible until you realize that he was a rookie. Um,
Yeah.
so which he had really good numbers, borderline
Yeah.
great numbers. But again, saying that he's a rookie, that's insane. Broke the rookie passing record for touchdowns. Um, the only reason why I don't want to put him at A is just because it was his rookie year. You never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
he could progress like Allen and then throw for 50 touchdowns like Mahomes did in his second year, or he could have like a Baker Mayfield type of second year where he just regresses just enough to not really be talked about a whole lot. So I think that B is safe for Herbert.
Yeah. I kind of want to give him an A just because of his rookie year, and to be different. But I had him at B as well. I think he's awesome. I think the Chargers are a heartbreak team and they find a way to disappoint. So I don't know how, but they're gonna fuck it up because they're the Chargers until they prove to me that they've changed course and aren't going to continue to fuck over their fans. I gotta give him a B and hope he continues to progress because he's a damn fun quarterback to watch. Uh, so we got Ryan Tannehill next. So Ryan Tannehill is interesting. He's a really good quarterback, and he is an example of why Adam Gase does not deserve to ever work in the NFL again because he was so inconsistent and at times bad in Miami. But he goes to Tennessee and he's putting up great numbers and he's looking good. And I got him as a B. Um, I don't. He's not an MVP, but he will win a game or two. He will put the team on his back and go out there and win a football game. So I like Ryan Tannehill. I like the Titans being living in Tennessee. Obviously, not my favorite team, but I do want to see them win. And I think they're going to be good this year, and it's going to be partially because of Tannehill.
I also have him as a B strictly because of Arthur Smith leaving. I think that he was absolutely the mastermind behind Ryan Tannehill's resurgence. Not that Ryan Tannehill was trash. I think that he's always been kind of a B guy, and he he benefits from good and bad coaching. Adam Gase, whenever he was his coach in Miami, he looked like a C guy, And now
Yes.
that he had a couple years of Arthur Smith, he was actually in the MVP conversation, depending on the circles that you were, in.
Yep.
So I see him regressing just a tad to B, which is a good place to be. Uh, so I could see him maybe continuing down that path of A, especially because they got fucking Julio Jones now,
But
which
yeah. Yep.
pains me to say. Uh, they did lose Jonnu Smith. So the loss of Jonnu Smith is not that crazy, but the loss of Arthur Smith, I think, is going to be the biggest thing whenever it comes to how people think of Tannehill moving forward. If he regresses at all, having AJ Brown and Julio fucking Jones on the outside, uh, then that's a problem. You know what I mean?
Well,
Go ahead.
I mean, obviously, that he has Julio Jones, and that's a fucking game changer. But he did lose Corey Davis. I don't know how that will impact him, but Corey Davis is really talented wide receiver, a good safety net to have. So
Yeah,
I'm curious to see that.
Yeah, I agree. Corey Davis was a loss, but it was made up for in bundles whenever they got Julio, at least in my opinion. Corey, he never even had 1,000 yard season, correct?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely, you never want to lose a guy like that, especially whenever they drafted him so high. But yeah, I'm gonna have him at B just to kind of make myself feel better about the Julio trade and us now having Arthur Smith. I'm hoping that that makes Matt play a little bit better.
So
So go ahead.
Corey Davis' best season was last year with 945 yards and 5
Mhm.
touchdowns. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So that go ahead.
yeah. I was just gonna say that was his last season there. So
Yeah.
if he continues that trend, he's only 26. Um, I don't know. I'm excited because obviously he went to the Jets.
Oh yeah.
But
No, I really like Corey Davis. I was very, 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 very high on him out of college. I thought that he was going to be a superstar, and maybe he still can be, but typically you can already kind of see, you know.
yeah,
Uh,
yep,
but I mean, there are absolutely late bloomers. Roddy White, he started out really slow, but he ended up being a great guy. Um,
yeah.
so okay, I've got Tua. Uh, I love Tua. He's my favorite Alabama quarterback of all time. I'm an Alabama fan, obviously. I live in Alabama. So it's basically just Alabama and Auburn are my choices, and I picked the right one. Uh, I've got Tua as C. I could see an argument for him being kind of between B, C, and D. B for the hopeful because he was a high draft pick, and before his college injury, plenty of people thought he was going to be a superstar. C because average, and then D because he honestly didn't play that well ending his rookie year. He started out okay. He has a lot of the same problems that Tyrod Taylor has, where he is mind-numbingly conservative, which is kind of weird because he wasn't like that in college. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a scheme change, the lack of talent that he's not used to having, or I don't know, just afraid of looking bad. But whatever the case is, he played way too conservative. If he can go back to slinging the fucking ball like he knows how to do, then we'll see a lot of improvement. Mike Gesicki, excellent tight end, and they drafted Jalen Waddle, which was one of Tua's favorite targets in college. So again, same with the Bengals drafting Jamar Chase. The chemistry's there. So I am a huge Tua fan. And I certainly hope that he plays well.
Well, because I'm not a homer, I have Tua as D.
Oh no!
I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's going to be that good. I don't he's an amazing college quarterback, but he's another one of the college quarterbacks who's not going to be able to make that leap. And Alabama is they churn out quarterbacks because they play in a pro style. Usually that translates well, but I just don't see it with Tua. I watched some of his games. He does not look like an NFL quarterback. I hope for your sake I'm wrong, but for my sake, because he plays for Miami, I hope I'm right. But I just don't see it. I don't see that change make. And he's not that small, but he seems small. I don't know if that makes sense. It's almost like
He
he
is
plays
short.
small. He's
Yeah,
six
he
one, which is short for
I
a
don't know if
quarterback.
that's I don't know if that's accurate. I'm sure that that's what he's listed as, but I don't know that that is accurate.
Okay, so then it's just not me. He does look small. He doesn't look like he belongs on the NFL field, both in stature or play.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, I think D's where I have him. Um, so what do we got? Jameis Winston, I think, is probably going to be the starter for the Saints. At least,
James
just
yeah, Jameis Winston slash Taysom Hill. I guess you
Chase.
can go ahead.
Yeah, well, Taysom Hill is like a gadget. He doesn't really. I haven't seen him at quarterback consistently enough to know what he is. I have seen Jameis Winston, and he's not good. So I got them as D. I Saints are cool. I don't
No.
know. I can't. Okay, yeah. Fuck the Saints. Fuck them.
Yeah. I
I,
I do not feel as strong of like go ahead, man. I'm
no,
pissed already.
I'm just going to say Jameis Winston is not a good quarterback. I don't know what Taysom Hill is, but if he was a quarterback, he would be the starter, I think. Sean Payton is a good football mind. I think he has shown that he can play or coach
Yes.
well. So if he thought Taysom Hill was the answer at quarterback, he'd be starting him. Jameis Winston is garbage. He doesn't belong in the league. Maybe as a backup, and if your quarterback goes down with an injury, you put him in because you have to put someone in, but he shouldn't be starting for the Saints.
Yeah. So as far as I know, Taysom is the projected starter. At least that's what's coming out of the Saints. Whether or not that's just Sean stroking his own cock, which he's known to do. Like
True.
he doesn't want to be proven wrong. So Taysom's probably going to start. However, the majority of people think that if he starts to stink it up, then Jameis is going to be thrusted in immediately. Which I think he's a better quarterback than Taysom. Taysom is probably, no, definitely a better athlete than Jameis. So of course it depends on the route that they want to do. If they want to try to be cute, which Sean is known for doing, then
Yep.
Taysom's probably going to play. But yeah, I would put them both at D. Jameis is on the higher end of backups, and Taysom is a terrible quarterback, great athlete. So yeah, D is fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got Kyler Murray. Hate him. I don't like Kyler Murray. Uh,
Um,
Mostly because he won the Heisman Trophy when Tua should have won it.
okay.
Anyway, yeah, that's my biggest gripe with Kyler. That and his helmet is way too fucking big for his tiny body. Uh, Kyler, where did I put him? I put him at B. I could see him making the leap to A this year, but I put him at B just based off of how he finished last season. He started last season incredibly strong, but
Yeah.
after that shoulder injury, he was not the same. So hopefully for his sake, it healed properly. But I think that B is that's not a bad place to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And that's where I have him as well.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
so Kyler is a stupid name, but a fun quarterback to watch. Um, I don't think the Cardinals are good. I don't think they're going to be good. I don't believe in their coaching
But they
staff.
got JJ, man.
And until they make some changes, I don't see like Cliff Kingsbury. Have we seen anything out of him to believe he's going to be a coach long for this?
Absolutely not, man.
So I think Kyler himself has the talent to be a and maybe someday S. Definitely, he can make that leap to A
Ooh.
on a better team with better coaching. He's talented as fuck, but
If
right
you put
now,
him on the Ravens, uh, we're talking about him totally different. Go ahead.
yeah, no, I agree exactly. But until the Cardinals as a franchise make some changes, Kyler's not going to make that leap. So we got Derek Carr next. Derek
Yeah.
Carr, he had so much hope for the Raiders. And I wanted him to be drafted by the Jets because at that time the Jets were just looking for a quarterback constantly. And I was
Love me some Derek
so
Carr.
so disappointed when they didn't pick him. Um, and I want to see Carr play well, but he's inconsistent, and I don't believe John Gruden is good. I don't believe the Raiders are a good franchise, so I have him at C. Um, I think Carr could. He's got talent. I just don't think. I don't know. He's just not consistent enough for me to be a above average quarterback. He's better than some other C rated quarterbacks. He's not better than any of the ones I have at B. And that's where he is. He's stuck at C.
So I almost put him at C. Again, this is more hopeful than anything, but I actually put him at B. He's probably the lowest B quarterback. I'm taking a look at my list right now. Yeah, I'd say he's probably my lowest ranked B quarterback. Um, he's got the talent. He finds himself doing again same shit as Tyrod. Uh, he gets in his head and he's so conservative whenever there are open guys downfield. Um, he's kind of streaky. He'll have a few games in a row where he looks like, like a top 10 guy, and then he will just fucking dink and dunk you to death. So B is definitely, like I said, I'm being hopeful, but that's where I would like to see him. They did lose. Who did they lose? Nelson Aguilar. I believe the Patriots actually scooped him up. Um, but that's not a huge loss. But he was a favorite target of his. They did get Zay Jones. Not really impressed with Zay Jones, but they did try to replace him. They tried to actually they did like completely overhaul their offensive line. So that's how a Carr is to me. He's dependent on the team around him. He reminds me a little bit of Ryan Tannehill. So if their offensive line is great, I think he's a B quarterback. If not, he's going to be a C quarterback. He's never been terrible, but he's never been, you know, uh, he
Yeah,
won't
and
outplay his team.
that's why he's a C level to me. That's the definition of C
I feel
level
you.
is if you surround them with talent, they're good. They're fine. If they have to win a game on their own, if they have to elevate the team around them, they're gonna fail. And
I hear you.
that's
I could see
far.
that.
Um, okay, so I think
Okay.
you're next, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Jalen Hurts, huge fan of him. Of course, another Alabama quarterback. Where did I have him? Yeah, I had him at C, bordering on D. Uh, I would love to see him succeed. Such an incredible guy. Very charitable. Um, well spoken. Just great teammate. Great guy. So, of course, I do hope that he plays well. But he showed a little bit during the season last year that he could be a starter. He actually beat the Saints, which that really was a huge shocker to a lot of people. So if he can be the Jalen Hurts that we saw in the Saints game, I think that he's going to last for a long time. But he regressed more or less throughout the entire season. So that's definitely not a good thing. But we'll see. This is his first full off season. COVID's not a thing. I mean, it's a thing, but COVID
Yeah, yeah.
protocols are significantly different this year. It's going to be huge for a lot of the second round or the second year guys, and I hope that he can find some success.
Yeah, yeah. I like Jalen Hurts as a man. Uh, I don't know if he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I have him as a D, but I don't think he's going to get replaced because who do they have? They got Flacco as a backup. Uh, so this is his year. He either steps
Are you
up and
talking
proves
about
it.
the best quarterback on the Jets in 2020, Joe Flacco?
Yes, yes, I am. He's not on
Okay,
the.
all right.
So yeah, Jalen Hurts, incredible dude. Um, Great college football player. Probably not NFL. I think he's got, like you said, this is his first real chance at proving it because he's awesome. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he outplays everyone else in that locker room. But I just don't think it's going to happen. So we got Baker Mayfield, the great white hope of Cleveland. Supposed to turn that franchise around, give them a franchise quarterback, give them someone to root for. I'm giving him a low C. I don't think
Whoa.
yeah, I don't think he's going to be great, man. I think he's mediocrity. He's the mediocrity quarterback, mediocre quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think he's been inconsistent. He's played great games, but he's also fucking played some trash games. I just don't think I don't think he's going to. He's the type of quarterback that will play good enough to not get another quarterback drafted, and then leave Cleveland at 8 and 9 for the next 4 years before everyone gets fired and they realize they have to replace him. He plays well enough to
Okay.
keep his job.
Okay. All right. So just so you know, he did leave an OBJ-less offense, 2-11-5 last year. Just so you know, it was not 8-9. So I've got Baker at A. I think
Wow.
that yeah, I'm glad we finally have a rather large discrepancy. So Baker, I'm looking at his numbers right now. Rookie year, awesome. I thought he was going to be incredible. Sophomore year, that was not a good year. 22 touchdowns to 21 interceptions during like the first like half of the season. He was like record breaking. He was throwing interceptions at like a record breaking pace. Second or his third year, 26 touchdowns, 8 picks. That was again his first year with Stefanski. So Stefanski, he was the offensive coordinator for the Vikings. I'm sure you already knew that. He was a large part in Kirk Cousins having some of his success there. The running game in Cleveland is, I would argue, the best running game in the NFL, minus just Derrick Henry. Uh,
Yeah.
they've got Nick
Yeah.
Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That's the best one too. Is what I'm trying to get at. Um, they have OBJ back this year, who I don't think is an elite guy anymore, but he's certainly still a good receiver. Uh,
Serviceable. Yeah.
yeah. Austin Hooper, who was an ex Falcon, he's still there. I think he's a borderline great tight end. David Njoku had a little bit of a better year last year. He's not necessarily great, but he was looked at like possibly great. So maybe he can turn it around. I definitely think that just like a lot of these guys, this is kind of like put up or shut up. This is his fourth year. So this is his last like bona fide year on his rookie contract. So he kind of has to play well. And if he doesn't, then he's probably not going to last for long. But I think that he's got everything set so that he's gonna go off 30 plus touchdowns, 10 or fewer picks, and they're probably going to win 11 or 12 games.
So my prediction is he's going to be streaky. He's going to start off hot, have 3 shit games, rebound, be average, and it's going to be like that. So he'll play in a way where Cleveland's like, do we have our franchise? Do we not? And just that's who he is. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I think I'm confident with my answer.
Okay. Is it me now?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got Jimmy G and Trey Lance. Who would you or who are we thinking is going to be the starter for the majority of the season?
Jimmy G is going to start for sure. If he's healthy, he probably will play until he's injured. But he seems to be injury prone. So I
Yeah.
can't really say.
We'll do Jimmy G just because we've got a sample size on him, and
Yeah.
I also believe that he is going to start more games than Lance this year, unless injury. Uh, I think. Let me see where did I put him. Yeah, I've got him as a C. Uh, he has regressed a lot in my eyes. He is another very conservative quarterback, but that kind of works because you've got an offensive mastermind calling the plays and making you look a lot better than what you are. He's very similar to Jared Goff to me.
Yeah.
Um, so and also I don't like the guy, so I'm okay with him not being very good. I don't like him. He's too handsome, and he was on the Patriots, so I don't like him at all.
Yeah, he's hateable. Yeah, because the Niners don't believe in him. I have him as a D. I think he's probably closer to a C, and he'll probably, when they do move on from him, he'll get a starting job somewhere. But he's replaceable, and that the 49ers proved that by drafting Trey Lance. Um, I think he was talent. I think he's talented. I just don't think he's well coached, and he's not able to out shit. He's got a fucking great coaching staff. What is his problem? He's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck Jimmy G.
Fuck Jimmy. I agree.
Yeah, so I think he's almost good enough to be a starter, not quite good enough. He's going to lose his job. He will be a starter on another team because quarterbacks are the hardest thing to find in the league, and he's played well enough to get a starting job somewhere else.
I'd argue that offensive line is harder to find, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, I you have more offensive linemen, right? So you need to find more of them. Quarterbacks, you need to find one good one. They're the hardest thing to find because everyone that should be a good offensive lineman wanted to play defense for so long that you're just not
Well,
breeding them anymore.
just for sake of my argument, you just put Jimmy G as D. 2 years ago, he led his team to the Super Bowl. So that
Did he?
what I'm trying to get at, or he didn't lead it, but he was the starting
Yeah,
quarterback. And he had rather good numbers. What I'm trying to get at is even the worst of these guys uh are still pretty fucking good. It's just relative that they suck.
yeah, yeah.
Um
I agree.
there's a lot of absolute dog shit offensive tackles out there. That's more so what I was thinking about. Like there's a ton of serviceable quarterbacks versus not a ton of serviceable offensive tackles. Is kind of what I meant, but I didn't mean
Yeah.
to peel off on that. You
No,
can go ahead and do the Broncos.
speaking of shit, Drew Lock is a D quarterback.
Oh
Um,
yeah, dude.
the Broncos, you can put them at D.
Yeah,
Yeah,
horse cock lock. Not doing it.
yeah, yeah. They know that he's not the answer. But they tried to get Rodgers, I believe. They did get Teddy Bridgewater, who I really want to root for. I think he's a great dude, uh, but he's probably not starting quarterback in the NFL either. So the Broncos have they got a lot of problems at quarterback. Um, Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater are not answers.
Yeah, I'd put them at D as well. Teddy is borderline C, but I think it's more likely that Drew plays just because I don't know. He'll probably wow in the preseason or something. He's got some talent. He just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. It seems. So yeah, easy D for me. Um.
Yeah,
Okay, Matt Stafford. Where did I put him? I put him. Oh, I thought I ranked him differently. I put him as a B. I think he is past his prime, but that could just be recency bias, just because he's been on some shitty Lions teams. But I think he could be an A, but that's really just Sean McVay talking there. Uh, Cam Akers, which is the starting running back for the Rams, he's injured, so they've got some holes to fill there. They don't really have it kind of nailed down, so we don't really know exactly what the offense is going to look like. The defense should still be really good. They still do have a great play caller on offense. So I think B is a pretty safe uh, place for Stafford to be at.
yeah. I want Stafford to do well. He's a good quarterback who's been on shit teams. I put him. He's my highest ranked C, just because I think he's on the decline. But he then I look at his numbers and he put up 26 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. So maybe the change of scenery, better coaching, better staff or talent around him. He's probably a B, but I'll leave him at C for now, just to be a little different.
Well,
Again,
Baker
but
Baker put up 26 touchdowns and 8 picks, and you put him as a where did you put him as a D?
no, I put Baker
Okay,
as a C.
all right, my bad, my
Uh,
bad. Go ahead.
but yeah, I mean, so Stafford was drafted in the same year as Mark Sanchez, And to see him have this long, successful career and see what Sanchez became kind of breaks my heart. But he's also been in Detroit on just average teams, the most
How did you
average
let the
team
Lions outdraft you?
because I'm the Jets. But yeah, I hope he does well. I hope he has resurgence. I hope wins comeback player of the year. I don't know if he can without an injury, but he needs a win because he seems like a decent dude. Uh,
Yeah.
so who the hell do I have next? I have fucking Andy Dalton. Is that right?
Andy
Good
Dalton and
God.
Justin Fields. I think it's safe to say we're doing Justin Fields.
Okay, Justin Fields. Um, it's hard to say, right? Like he hasn't taken a snap in the NFL, but Chicago. There's nothing about Chicago that makes me think he's going to be successful because Chicago
Allen
hasn't done
Robinson is
anything.
it.
Yeah, uh, I'm gonna give him a C because I don't know. If it was Andy Dalton, I'd give him a D because
Mhm.
it's Andy Dalton. Um, I I hope Fields does well because having good quarterbacks in the NFL makes it fun to watch. And a young quarterback where you don't know where they're going to go, and if he's going to turn Chicago around. I mean, Chicago is one of those teams I want to see do well because it just reminds me of old school football. Um, but it's just such a shit ran franchise lately. What you got?
Yeah. I've got him at a C as well. But to be honest, I could see him being a B early on. Justin is incredibly talented, very, very slept on. I think he was probably the second best quarterback in the draft behind Trevor Lawrence. Um, I I don't know. Again, rookies hard to say. I think that if Matt Nagy can figure out how to use him, then he's going to have some success. Uh, that's all I can really say. He's a really smart guy, both on the field and off the field. He scored, I think, the highest of any quarterback on the Wonderlic, at
Yeah,
least this year.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, huge brain on this motherfucker. So, uh, he's got the brains, he's got the arm talent. It's just kind of gonna be his situation. Chicago's not the best situation, but he could be, in a much worse situation. So I was gonna say the Jets, but yeah, he'll do okay. I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I wanted them to pick Fields at first because obviously Trevor Lawrence wasn't going to be available. But I obviously talked myself into Zach Wilson. But I hope
As you
Fields
do.
does well. Yes, as a Jets fan, you do that. I hope he
Yeah.
does well. I don't have any faith in Chicago front office or coaching staff.
I actually really wanted the Falcons to draft Justin Fields after saying that I don't ever want another quarterback. I fell in love with them, like during the college football playoffs, and it. I'm glad that we didn't get him, but I'm also a little bit worried because Matt. Well, we'll talk about Matt in a moment, but
Yeah,
I can't say that I would be mad if Justin Fields was our backup quarterback. Um,
understood.
I'll move on to Lamar Jackson. I've got him as A. The only reason why I don't have him as S is just the cliche reason that everyone else is going to say he's not the best passer. In fact, he's regressed as a passer, in my opinion. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, he's about a C passer, sometimes even D. But though he's an S running back, so yeah, he's definitely an A ranked guy. If he gets back to his MVP form, then no shit, that's an S. But we'll just have to see. Which I mean, A is nothing to be upset about. Like that's still like a top 10 guy.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna put him at S just because I want to see him be an S quarterback. He's so much fun to watch. Probably the second best quarterback to watch when there's a game on. I I still believe in Baltimore's coaching. I think that they can turn the corner and be a playoff Super Bowl contender. I don't know if they'll do it this year, but I think that they can continue building. And Lamar, if he just continues playing at MVP levels, he's there's no reason they can't. So I'll put him at S and hope for the best. And yeah, Lamar Jackson rules. But then we're going to talk about Ben Roethlisberger, who I fucking hate for his off the field shit and on field shit. I want so bad to put him at D, but he's not there. He's just a few years away, or few years removed from being a MVP candidate caliber quarterback. But he's regressed a ton. He's had injuries. He's tends to be a little out of shape. He's like a doesn't move at all in the pocket. So if his offensive line breaks down, he's getting hit. He usually doesn't get sacked because he's so fucking big, but it does affect his ability to, pass the football. So I'll put him at C and hope he regresses because fuck Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck Big Ben. I do have him at C as well. I could see him being a B this year, just because they still do have some nice offensive weapons, but I think he's going to regress just a tad, and hope that he regresses a ton for basically the exact same reason as you. He's just an asshole, man. Like,
Yeah.
not only is he an accused or an alleged uh, what is it, rapist? So,
Yes.
yeah, not only does he have that over him, but he's just an asshole, period, like, to the media and to his teammates. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
fuck Ben. Hope he sucks, but he's probably not going to. C is where I've got him. Okay.
Yep.
Fucking Matthew Ryan. Uh, I love this man with all of my heart. He is the best Falcon of all time. No,
Yep.
it is not Julio Jones. It is absolutely Matt Ryan. Uh, you are definitely gonna think that this is homerism, but I'm actually, again, this is a slight projection. I'm gonna put him at A. Uh,
Wow.
Mostly because actually about 90% of the reason is because of Arthur Smith. He did he made some magic with fucking Ryan Tannehill. I'm hoping that he can recreate that with Matt Ryan. The last time that Matt Ryan had a good offensive coordinator, he won the MVP, which was in 2016. That was We're 5 years away from that, so that's a long time ago. Uh, right after um, Kyle Shanahan left, which was the offensive coordinator during Matt's MVP season, Steve
Yep.
Sarkisian came over, and Matt had 2 straight, I would say A, maybe even B seasons where he was throwing for over 30 touchdowns, uh, a year and having some really good games. They just weren't MVP caliber games, so people started to think that he had regressed. Then enter Dirk Cutter. Absolutely shit on Matt's production. He immediately become probably like the 20th best quarterback. Uh, it's embarrassingly bad, and I know that it was Dirk because Dirk was Matt's coordinator about 2012 ish, and he was also not very good then. He was about the like 15th best quarterback. So that's certainly projection. I think it's more likely that he's going to have a B season, but I think that with Kyle Pitts being a potential superstar, a revamped backfield with a running back that has adult knees, and Arthur Smith calling the plays, I think that he could have a really, really good season.
Yeah, I have Matt Ryan at B. I think he's still a very, very good quarterback, and I think he is going to be much better this year for all the reasons you said. I would not be surprised if he had an A because he's a generational talent. He's one of the best quarterbacks of the last 10 years. And it's not even a question. He just is. So I like Matty Ice. I think he's a fun quarterback to watch. I think he's incredibly cerebral. He will he will play he'll outsmart the other team and not even try. At least that's what it looks like when I'm watching him. So I like him. I think he's going to have a better season this year. I think that Atlanta would do better overall, and I think he's still a really good quarterback.
Sure.
And who do we got? Carson Wentz.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, Carson Wentz. He was another one that was supposed to be a franchise quarterback. He was supposed to lead the Eagles for the next 10 years. What the hell happened to him? I still think he can be serviceable. I want to root for him. I'm going to put him at D just because
Whoa.
I know, he's already lost his job once. I would not be surprised if he has a ridiculously uh, bounce back season and plays at B level. But it's put up or shut up. This is if he can't turn it around and find some wins with the Colts, he's going to be a bench warmer. He's going to be a backup for a while. But like I said, I wouldn't be too surprised if he plays lights out. I mean, we're only 4 seasons away from 2017, where he had 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
And his
But
2018 season was not that bad either.
yeah, true.
But yeah, 2017 he was an MVP candidate before he got hurt. I think I've got him at a C, just because I don't think that he forgot how to play quarterback. I think that there were a lot of reasons that he didn't do too well last year. He was for a while there the worst quarterback in the league. I definitely don't think that that's the norm for him. I definitely think that he's still got a lot of talent. Frank Reich, which is the head coach of the Colts, he is familiar with Wentz because he coached Wentz in Philadelphia. So
Yes.
there's a lot of chemistry there. Um, I think that that's exactly what both of them need. I'm happy for the Colts. They finally got a guy who they at least are seemingly believing in, because Philip Rivers was always going to be a temporary thing.
Yeah.
uh, Brissett was always going to be a temporary thing. So it's been a couple seasons, but they finally got a guy that they're fully like on board with, at least from the outside. That's what it seems like. I think he's going to have a at worst decent year, and I could also, like you said, see him totally bouncing back. They've got an incredible offensive line, incredible defense, seemingly very good head coach. So I mean,
Yeah.
all of the pieces are there. It's up to him. I do like him. He's a really likable guy, especially coming from North Dakota State. So hope the best for him. I've got him at C for now, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope he has a bounce back season. He's got to show it.
Right.
Um, So what do we got? Cam Newton / Mac Jones. I think Cam's going to start. I think Mac will play more than Cam overall.
Okay.
I
I
think
think we can do Mac then.
okay. All right. So, well, if we're doing a rookie, I'm going to throw C. Um,
Yeah.
but I want him to be D because he's on the Patriots. I want Bill Belichick to run the rest of his career looking for Tom Brady. But I don't know. I would not be surprised if Mac Jones has a pretty good year. I don't. Well, I don't. I'd be surprised if he had a good year. I think he'll have a good career. Um, I think
Hunter
he will.
Henry and Jonnu Smith are the only two reasons why I think Mac Jones has even a chance of having a good year.
Yeah, I think it's so hard for a rookie to step onto the field and play above mediocrity, to be above average, and C is average, I think. run of the mill quarterback. So I think he's going to struggle. I think overall he'll have decent numbers, okay numbers.
Okay. I if we were doing Cam Newton, it would be an easy D. But since we are doing Mac, gotta put him in C as well. Uh, Virtually the exact same thing that you were saying. I think I could see him going either way, man. Since he is an Alabama quarterback, I could see him flaming out very quickly, or I could see him playing just like he did in college, which was the best college football player last year. I could see him kicking ass, and like I said, Hunter Henry and Johnny Smith, um, very good tight ends. That's what you want as a
Yeah.
like a growing quarterback. Like you need those safety blankets, and they just got two of them. So uh, I think that he's got a shot. And Damian Harris, their running back, um, he's poised to have a breakout year, which is also another Alabama guy. So how much does that chemistry matter? Probably not a ton, but it is there. Uh, Bill Belichick is still Bill Belichick, so I could see him having honestly not quite a Justin Herbert type of rookie year, but I could see him having a really good rookie year. But again, C is kind of like the default.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't want him to do well, and that sucks because he's probably an okay dude, but fuck New England Patriots. So I hope he flames
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Fuck the Pats. Okay, Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and put him at B tier. Just because I mean he's like literally Andrew Luck, like not necessarily like in his play style, but Andrew Luck came in, was immediately like the guy. There's been a handful of other quarterbacks that have come in and do that. I mean, you can argue that Justin Herbert did, but he wasn't looked at as the guy from the get go. Like everyone knew that Andrew Luck was going to be the guy. Everyone seemingly knows that Trevor Lawrence is going to be the guy. I could see him having a C year because it still is the Jaguars. Like it's not giving too much credit, but Urban Meyer being the head coach, the signings that they've made throughout the offseason, I mean, this could be a wild team. It could. It's most likely not going to be very good, but it could be good. I mean, we've never really seen anything like what the Jaguars are doing. Of course, they signed the elite tight end Tim Tebow. So I mean, there's no telling what they're going to do on offense.
Former starting quarterback for the New York Jets, Tim Tebow.
Yeah, man. So I I really, 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 really hate this whole situation because Gardner Minshew is probably my favorite non-Falcon in the NFL. Uh,
Yeah.
he is literally like a walking meme. I shared that link. I know you've already seen it. Gardner Minshew is a projected second string quarterback for the Jaguars. They asked him about how he feels about that, and he said, "I haven't taken a shit in weeks because number 2 is not an option." Like he's just such a funny guy. He's a known MILF hunter, so I mean I can always get behind that. He has this mustache. He looks like he's like 46, but he's like 25 maybe. Uh, no, I think he's like 24 or 23 even. Dude is fucking young, looks very old. He wears jorts. He works out in his jock strap in the gym. Uh, Fucking goofball, and I think he's actually a really good quarterback. I think at worst, Gardner Minshew's a C, but he's not even on this list. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that Trevor is going to have a very respectable season on par with Justin Herbert, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to he I wanted to put him at A, but I have him at B as well.
Oh,
And it's funny because all the reasons I said all of our other starting quarterback or rookie quarterbacks are going to be C, Trevor Lawrence kind of transcends that.
absolutely.
He's not the same. He is one of a kind quarterback.
He is
As
built different.
Yes. And to your point, just he reminds a lot of people of Andrew Luck, and I think that's a good comparison. But being a rookie, stepping on the field, being on the Jaguars, I can't put him at A. I want to see him succeed. I also feel the same way about Gardner Minshew. I hope he gets an opportunity to start some results. Look at anyone on the list. He can come in and help you right away. Go to Miami. I don't want him to be successful in Miami, but I think that'd be a good fit for him. So hopefully Gardner
Giants and
Minshew.
Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, Denver. I think Denver is a starting
Would be
quarterback away
perfect.
from. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence is going to be a lot of fun to watch for a long time. I think he's all the other rookie quarterbacks. There's a lot of question marks around them. I hope Kyle or Zach Wilson is a fucking. I hope he's an A tier, but chances are, way the way rookie quarterbacks turn out, you get one for every 10, and chances of Zach and Trevor and Trey Lance, all these quarterbacks being on a team or being a starter in 4 years, it's not going to be all of them. You'll be lucky if it's two. But Trevor will be a starting quarterback in the NFL for a long time, and he will be probably A tier next year.
Oh yeah, I could see that easily. Yeah, I mean, like you said, he could do it this year. Um, it he is just he's simply good already. Like we know that
Yes.
he's good. And I'll be honest, I hated him for a very long time, just because he was like a media darling, and he's been fucking cock road his since he was like 13 years old. Like entering high school, everyone knew he was a fucking like a
Yep.
pure breed. Like
Yes.
it is what it is. So again, the biggest reason why I disliked him is because I'm an Alabama fan, and Alabama and Clemson have a postseason rivalry, which is kind of funny because like no other team can really say that because Clemson and Alabama are the only two that make it every single fucking year. So he's beat us, we beat him. So I've kind of come to peace with the fact that Trevor's just fucking a good quarterback, and he actually uh, is seemingly a good dude. So that's a lot easier for me to root for a guy if he seems to be a good dude off the field, which he uh, kind of surprised me that he is. Usually, guys that have been bred like as these superstars at such a young age, normally they're kind of dickheads.
Goes to their
But
head. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, and he seems, of course, there's no telling how he is behind closed doors, but in interviews and like one-off videos and shit I've seen of him, he seems like a great guy. So and I love the Jaguars. I love an underdog story. I really like the Jaguars. I love Tim Tebow. I kind of fucking hate Urban Meyer, but it is what it is. So
Yeah.
I hope he has a lot of success.
Yeah, and he will. I mean, assuming the Jaguars can become a playoff team, they haven't exactly been a great franchise long term, but they haven't been in this position with this once in a lifetime quarterback. So I hope they do well as well. I like the Jaguars; they're cool. I haven't heard your voice in a while, Dimitri. You still there?
I am here and vibing.
Who's your favorite quarterback on the list?
Uh, who was the horsecock dude?
Matt Ryan.
Drew,
No,
Drew,
horsecock lock.
Yeah,
Drew
horsecock lock
Lock.
Yeah,
hard.
Drew Lock. He's terrible.
He's awful.
He wins. He's S tier just by name alone.
He
I,
does
I,
have the best nickname.
yeah.
Is it
Well, there's
horsecock because the team is a horse?
I don't know, but it definitely fits. I think that may have been his name, like during like the draft hype, and he just happened to go to the Broncos. Uh, but it certainly fits. You might like Nick Foles as well.
I was
He's
just gonna say that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's the journeyman. His name's Nick, and everyone calls him Big Dick Nick.
I might have to start watching the NFL now, bro.
Eric Decker. He used to play for the Broncos and the Jets. There's this guy on YouTube. He's got a channel called That's Good Sports, and
I
he's
love
like
that.
he's a Broncos super fan, so he's always doing like he'll do a little bit of NFL news, but it's mostly Broncos shit. But when Eric Decker was on the team, he would always call him like Big Dick Decker and just like all sorts of like dick jokes about Eric Decker. It was really funny.
Yeah, he's got a gorgeous wife. She's a singer, Jessie James. I don't really listen to her, but she's
Oh,
fucking
Eric Decker.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good list. It kind of shows that we both, I mean, in my opinion, know what we're talking about because the list was similar, but we also had a couple discrepancies, which is always a good thing. I noticed that your A tier is very light,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I think this was a good exercise. I did not realize it was going to take an hour. Uh, so I apologize for Demetrius for having to sit through this because it
Yeah.
probably sounded like a bunch of nothing to him.
It's all good, bro. I'm here vibing.
Yeah. I think yeah, I agree. It was a good exercise. It was fun finally getting me back in the mindset of football. We got the Hall of Fame game. Is that next week or the week after? I know that's usually the
Uh,
first week of August. Look that up.
That is August 5th.
Yeah, so we got football right around the corner. I said before I don't really get into it till Hard Knocks starts. That's when I really get in football mindset. But yeah, I'm hyped. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yep, I will watch the first like 12 minutes of the Hall of Fame game and then remember that preseason sucks.
Preseason's so bad.
Especially when it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers, two teams that I dread.
Me too. Me too.
Uh, I
And
see
that's
enough of them.
the Cowboys are the team of Hard Knocks this year too. So we got
I
that going
know.
for us.
Yeah. Oh, I'm skipping that shit. I am simply not watching it. I hate the Cowboys so much.
I may just end up watching the Jets Hard Knocks again. That was fucking fun. It's Ryan,
I
Mark
didn't even watch the
Sanchez.
Jets one.
Watch it. It's hilarious.
Did you watch the Falcons one? I think that was 2015, probably.
I'm sure I did, but I don't have any. 2014. I don't really have any recollection of it.
I really enjoyed it. Of course I did. But uh, Devontae Freeman had a scene that I always remember. He comes from the hood. You know, he was very poor as a child, and during one of the episodes, he is going apartment shopping, and he's just in a very regular apartment and he's like freaking out because like the guest bathroom has a tub that he fits in. He was like laying in it clothed, and he was like, "Oh my god, like I can't believe this!" Like, and it was just such like a wholesome thing. Like, fuck yes, dude, like he made it. Which
Pretty great.
also, Devontae Freeman, this actually broke earlier while we were recording. He posted on Instagram. He is going back to Florida State to graduate. So good for him.
For him, I always liked Devontae Freeman. He was a fun in his day. He was a fun running back to watch.
Oh yeah, yeah. He had a good couple seasons. He was one of my favorites for those couple of seasons.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think we've said it all.
We wrapping up?
I think we should.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yeah,
all
pass
right.
out.
Yeah, it's late as hell. This is a long ass stream, but
I
yeah,
think we got 2 episodes out of it though, man. We got a lot of content. If you guys liked what we are doing here, please like us on all the social medias, especially YouTube. Subscribe on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram. Obviously, follow us here. We appreciate all of you, and you're the reason we do this. Thank you.
yep, we got 2 follows that stream, so thank you for following. It means a lot. We're trying to get affiliate, so every follow counts. Share us with your friends, tell them how stupid we are. Help us out. You know, if you enjoy the show, just help us grow, I guess. But yeah,
Absolutely.
with that, we're gonna head out. Thanks for tuning in and adios.